Let me know how it works, Janice.
I will.
Before I send mine out.
You're gonna have to wait.
It still works there?
Well.
Yeah, I think-
I mean, I charged it.
Are they having plans to come to your town?
If you live in the right side of town, on the right side of the tracks, you already have spectrum. Oh, that hurts. Right, Cheryl?
Cheryl, do you live on the right side of the track?
They came to my house, or came about a year ago, so it's nice.
Gives a whole new meaning, you're looking at the wrong side of the tracks.
I can't help that.
I have to, sure.
Lisa, she's a notary. I don't know if Cheryl is or not.
And I always thought I was on the good side of the tracks, you know?
Right?
For more civilization, there is such a thing there.
I'm looking for the.
Yeah.
I can see, you don't have to spend more than 5 years. But, if she is, you know.
Okay. Okay.
After 500, I got it.
Oh, yeah, she took it, everything.
That's good.
Got it all done in one. I'm liking that.
Gary?
We're moving forward.
One thing, it was my fever, sometimes it was right there. No, things open up.
Verizon? Yeah. Yeah, I can do it sometimes, but it's not reliable.
But then, like I said, last night, I bet it was at least 3 minutes,
Yeah.
if not longer.
I'm trying to watch the YouTube video to contact, no, not even a chance. Yeah.
Interesting. So. at the end of the-
I just got picked up the furniture and my son.
Yeah.
Take an hour, 2 hours.
We're gonna make people like that.
Yeah, they love it.
Look forward to talking to that. March would be nice.
Thank you. I didn't think
If it's zero, should have suffered a thing. I was talking to a couple of farmers at church on Sunday, it's 6,010. Started operations. Excited.
I'm sure you are.
Costs us.
Couple weeks ago. Still no real comparison.
That's not the one I want.
Yeah, motion might work. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. It's after me.
Yeah.
Oh, you're waiting for me to sit down? Okay, I'm sorry. Why didn't you yell at me? You could have yelled.
Okay, let me ask you this, would it have done any good? I mean, might not have, but she could have yelled, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order and first on the agenda, we have Veteran Services, Director Selena.
Good afternoon, everybody. First, start with the Dwyer report. You see, with retroactive and new payments, we covered over $52,000 for a lot of that money we spent here in the county and the municipalities. And we ran, the 6 events on there, was actually set to be the computer training class in the office area. We did the 4 coffee hours, Beaver Hollow for Operation Hollow Hire. And we did a family bowling day over at Letchworth Pines. And that's something that bowling would like to do a little bit more into the future to encourage veterans to go out with families, children, grandchildren. We didn't have a big turnout because it was supposed to be Monday, we had that snow day. So we moved it back to Saturday, so I couldn't make it because of that. And we have some new events that we're into the Dwyer funding that Kelly from the Office of Mental Health is going to talk about. I just want to touch upon it. And we're looking to, on the 30th of March, we're going to do a Sabres game like a bus rental. They'll be leaving from my office area at 5 p.m. to go. We have 40 tickets for 40 veterans. If we can't get 40 veterans, then we'll call up people to ask them if they want to bring a spouse out as well. So I've had some good feedback on that already. It'll be going on the newsletter. We're going out this week. We'll be able to fill up that bus. And then we'll be starting so economic related therapy. First at Wilcott Farm. First one will be on the 25th of March, where it's 5 hours with a 1 hour break. Then we provide lunch, subs or something. And that'll be either ride a horse, be around a horse, brushing in, and they can also teach how to drive a car with it on their many trails that they have. Another thing at Trinity Farm, we'll be doing, they have psychotherapy, they have a licensed therapist on hand. And we have a veteran that's going to that as well as a couple of children of Afghanistan veterans that tragically died in their early 40s in the past couple of years. They're having a hard time, so I think it's a worthwhile cause to put some of the fun of children there. Hopefully get out of there.
Can you send me a calendar of some of these events?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I certainly can. And that one that's March 25th, moving forward, we'll be doing 2 of those a month, probably the first and third Fridays of the month.
If you can share a calendar, we can always keep it, on the agenda, so they can actually see a calendar.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Any questions regarding any of the activities?
And then making the quarterly donations to JVC for the for gas cards for all they do at Pembroke National Cemetery, the local cemeteries. That's something else Kelly will be bringing up, and I just want to touch upon that. That's pretty much all set with that, and I thank Supervisor Berwinger for putting that idea in my head. Is that I feel they certainly deserve that for all they do represent an account. And then one of the coffee hours, the one at Perry we had last week on the 15th, they did a close for Valley. There's a Monday resident, so unfortunately we can't have him here. But in the month, but he's 100 years old, and he partook in 4 battles of World War II, including Beecher. He celebrated his 23rd birthday by storming the beaches of Normandy on the 6th of June. And he still calls. He drove his daughter and son-in-law to the coffee hour, talking over his. I must be that for him. I'm 70. It's really nice to meet him. Yeah, Bud Long is his name. So that's what I have for Dwyer. Are there any questions for that?
I have a comment.
Yes.
I don't know all the activities that were done before, but it sure sounds like you're doing a lot of really good things there.
Thank you.
I really do. I'm glad to hear it.
And we're looking to do more as well. I'm meeting with Supervisor King. There's a weather wants to fishing event out on Pike. And then with Operation Higher Ground that they fund, we're going to be expanding some more to hopefully intrigue younger veterans, like archery lessons they do, and bonfires, rock climbing as well as they have. So we're hopefully you'll hear even more from that. So thank you for that.
Wonderful.
That's the Dwyer portion. The next is a resolution for March. It's Women's History Month, but I want to recognize the military female veterans. So I'd like to put that out there as a way to recognize all that's done for our country, to get freedom in the first place of the Revolutionary War, moving forward to the present day. I don't know what the next step on this. Sure.
Okay. Well, we will need a motion to Supervisor Roberts. I did talk to the director before we came in and offered to contact. We have a World War II female veteran living in our town. And and see if she would be interested in coming down that day for the proclamation. And so her and her husband came down probably, I don't know, 70 years ago, maybe longer than that, and did the Pledge of Allegiance, but, you know, he said maybe he would see if she wants to do that as well, so. Yeah. So, I've got a motion on the floor, to do the Women's History Month resolution, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We're gonna make a proclamation.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay, and the last thing I have, is I'll talk about 6 different items that will affect veterans and my office in this county for, we'll actually find out by the 1st of April if it goes through, but right now it's on the docket. Where the grants available that are currently for each county's veteran services are 10,000. We're going to increase that to 25,000 for each county. The next is funding for the Dwyer grant. Right now, 30 counties receive it, but they're looking at expanding to all 62 counties in New York State. And the numbers being thrown out there, nothing's confirmed yet, so I'll hold off on putting that on the record. And then the higher event tax credit is expanded to all veterans. Before it was just post 9/11, and now every event that gets higher, the companies are eligible for that under the tax law. And then an additional $225,000 is going to be added to the free food voucher program that's available to through the New York's veteran families. I think get healthier. And the state, they didn't have any much detail, but they said they're going to commit more resources and partnerships to having mentors in every county for people that just come out of the military, new veterans to help their transition to civilian life, which I think would save the county money as well. Hopefully help steer some of them that wouldn't have problems, help them steer away from that, so that in the long run should save the county tax money from not having to go through some of the more negative programs. And then affordable housing resources will be expanded across the state for veterans and their families. Again, there wasn't much detail on that, that's just what they're going to put in the budget somehow. So those are the 6 main things that would affect veterans in my office in this county. That's all I have, unless there's questions for me. So, all right, thank you for your time.
thank you. Sounds like a lot of positive changes going on.
We're going to have in the future, I'm sure.
And then I just want to mention too, there's ongoing discussion about reallocating space and the potential for down to the AIDS Center of Veteran Services. All the possibilities that will open up for both your office as well as the health department.
And I think what we could do with the RTS goes to the Ag Center, and they don't go to the Monkers Mill side. I think that should help get more veterans in the office. Yeah, and
Office for the Aging.
Yeah, hello. So let me give you my numbers for the month. In our ISAP program, we have 68 total participants with 48 active. 21 of those are getting PCA 1 services and 23 are getting PCA 2 services. And then I've got 4 ISAP participants getting the personal response buttons. Just a quick note on that. There's been some changes, I'm sure you've heard with the digital versus 5G versus all these different things, which I'm not really good at, but all of our systems had to be updated and that's all been done. So all the Wyoming County personal response buttons now function on the highest level that they possibly can. So for my respite program, we have 38 that are in the program, 25 are currently active. I've got 1 involved in adult daycare, actually 0 in PCA 1, but 7 in PCA 2. 1 of our people are getting overnight respite, and there's 16 in that program getting the Lifeline button. And then I've got 40 doing private pay. The Alzheimer caregiver coordinator, this particular month for some reason was popular. It must be, she's up quite a bit. She's serving 53 families. Those families change every month. That's why I don't give you like a before or after. It's, you know, there's typically some of them are held over from the month before, but a lot of them are new. Home delivered meals, we've got 292 that are active and 258 went out, or 48 went out today, 248. Congregate meal site is still just down in Arcade, and that's 13 are going to that regularly, and the Pine Lounge is getting about 35 a week.
Any questions regarding any of those stats or the services? Okay. March for meals.
Yeah, this is just something that I like to let you know about, just in case you have nothing to do and you would like to do this. Every year, March is designated as a March for Meals month. And what they do is they ask us to talk with you as supervisors about the possibility of you actually riding along on a route that is, you know, your jurisdiction and helping us deliver meals someday in March. So I would like to extend that invitation and let you know that, you know, we can basically pick any day, Monday through Friday. And typically, a typical route, we usually pick up the meals about 10:15 in the morning, and you're usually back by 1. So that is completely up to you. I just want you to know you're invited. We do ride-alongs for other reasons, but, you know, sometimes I'll do a ride-along just because I want the folks to, you know, hey, any complaints, I'm your girl, you know, that sort of thing. And they really seem to like that, you know, we care about them. So if you have any time and you would like to do it, please let me know and I'll sign you up. That's what it is. I do have a walk in here for.
There's talking about, we get a lot in.
I do,
For
yeah.
your salary schedule, G.
Yes, last month when we put in, I have a grant funded position in that Alzheimer caregiver coordinator. So when we did her salary for the year, because it's a yearly grant, you know, grant that we talk about salary, we did not give her the 2.5% increase. So today I'm here to ask you, I would like to give her that. Like everybody else, and so I'd like to amend that. It goes to $23.55 an hour, which is $42,866 a year.
And this is fully funded through your
For the Alzheimer grant.
That's for this year. Any questions or discussion? Can I get a motion to approve this? Supervisor Granger.
Jamie McGrath.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then Cheryl brought to my attention, last month we did a contract with WCJW for advertising. And the way the resolution was worded, it says it's in an amount not to exceed $18,661, and it's effective for 4 years. But when it gets correlated into the system, getting put into units, it's like a total contract of 74,000 on an annual basis. So we just need to reword it.
Okay.
to reflect that it's 18,661 per year, total contract, not to exceed the 74.
Okay.
644.
And I caught that, Janice.
Thank you.
If you
Look at that.
Yeah, I said, I thank you for catching it, I would have never.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, any little. things like that.
What would you would have caught it on year 2, month 1, what did I say, you don't have any money left on your contract? That's when we would have caught it.
Right. That's good though.
We don't think the increase was about 74,000 the first year.
No.
But you would have been okay with the 18,000 for the first year.
Yeah, but then I have to get a dollar over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we swoop in and become a pain.
Yeah. Thank you. That one in.
Okay, so that is amend resolution 22-053. It's adopted February 8th. Can I get a motion to amend Supervisor Roach? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Anything else on the office for the aging?
No. Nice short twist for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, youth bureau.
Yeah, let me give you some numbers on that, and Ellen, while you were busy, I threw something there for you to look at. It's this FYI. But for my program updates, I've actually got 54 active kiddos, and that's actually down from last month. I just thought I would let you know. We had some kiddos that transitioned from early intervention to preschool. And there's 15 kids that are in the process of being evaluated. So most likely some of those will be eligible. For preschool, I've got 121 active. That's usually my number in June. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule here. And 29 of those 121 are what they call center-based, which means that they go to an actual center for their therapies. What I wanted to let you know is that I actually have a wait list of those kiddos. So the center-based kiddos, I have 5 students that qualify for center-based, but there's no room. So I am a little bit worried about that because there will not be any room unless someone moves or until next year. So what we're doing is we're providing those therapies in the home instead of sending them to school. It's probably not the best way because these kiddos need a lot of services. So their home life is disrupted, usually somewhere in the vicinity of 3 to 5 therapists a day, coming in, going, coming in, going. So mom and dad have to be unfortunately very dedicated to this. And, that's why, we really wish we had a center to send them to. However, they are getting the therapies, it's just a little bit crazier. So
What is the age group?
that is the 3 to 5. Right.
So you have any that are on the wait list that are like 5 years old, so they may actually transition?
Yeah, there's a few, and that'll be why in come summer, September, they will go off our caseload and become, kindergartners at the home school.
Any questions regarding the programs? Number 4, an FYI contract for babysitting course.
Yeah, we try to do one of these each year. We haven't done it in a couple because of COVID, but we kind of have a call for it. Some of the parents are asking us when we're going to run it again. We were actually able to set this up. It's not cheap. It's about $40 to $50 per kid to get if a child wants to take the course. So what we did is we actually asked the Business Education Council if they would consider partnering with us on it, and they said yes. So it will be able to serve a few more kids because of that. Our portion will be about 700 and theirs will be 2.
Oh. So yeah, quite a good size. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on that? Number 5, amending resolution 21-9.
Yeah, all that is they extended our contract with, if you remember, we had some local artists doing paintings in Warsaw Village Park. And they extended the contract with us because we weren't able to get all of the painting done. So that was nice that they did that because the weather did not cooperate at all times.
Can I get a motion on that? Supervisor Davis? All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Carried. Anything else?
Just one more thing, I know you're all dying to hear how the human trafficking forum went. We had our human trafficking forum on January 28th, and I was pretty excited about it, and it really did go well. We had about 75 people attend, and we did it in the Perry High School auditorium, which of course it looked like there were like 3 people there because we all had to sit 6 seats apart. But the speakers did an excellent job, and it was really even gratifying for our local police. We had state police, sheriff, and then the locals, Perry, Attica, who else came? I didn't see Arcade.
Warsaw Arcade.
Yeah, Warsaw was there. I didn't see anybody from Arcade, but they had a chance. What's that?
Might have been the plain clothes.
Like, could have been, I wouldn't know. But anyway, I noticed after it was all over with that those law enforcement guys spent quite a bit of time talking with the FBI special agent and the Erie County sheriff detective that works on the Western New York Task Force. And I think they got a lot out of it. I heard afterwards that for sometimes when you hear that the different law enforcement agencies, that there's, sometimes challenges within those groups, I really didn't see that. They were very excited to hear from the FBI that if they need something fast-tracked, the guy gave them his card and said, give me a call. They have that ability to fast track if there is a concern or they need to, get a search warrant faster or, something like that, or they need to get a cell phone confiscated. It takes a little bit longer for our local guys to do that. If, someone on the FBI level asks for it, they can get it sometimes within 24 hours. So anyway, I liked that I saw that they were actually getting a lot out of it.
Who else attended that? School
We had quite a few teachers. It happened to be a superintendent's conference day. We planned it that way so that maybe they could come. And we had all the SROs from the schools, which are police officers, but they're housed there. And then we had the extras. We also had agency people because there were 2 parts to it. We actually had information about what human trafficking and child sexual exploitation looks like compared to regular child abuse or whatnot, because it does look a little bit different. And then we had one side that really talked about if you come across this, what's available for help. So that would be the community side of things, where you could refer a young person to go to get the help that they need. And then there was that other side that was law enforcement. So for community, anybody that worked with kids, Department of Social Services, schools, youth bureaus. We actually were pretty blessed to have like Fillmore High School sent their people, their SRO, and it just must have been closer. Or maybe they just thought we had a great lineup and they wanted to come support us. So, we had Fillmore folks there, we had some other folks in Cat County, Allegheny County that came up. And, I think everybody got something out of it, and at least our surveys at the end said, we learned a lot and, we'd like more information. Our next step in working on the project is to continue that sort of thing, but now we want to bring the general public in, like parents of kids, and try to get them educated, especially on what it looks like on, the cyber side. The FBI has a unit that's all they do is, investigate cyber criminals and our kids going on and thinking they're talking to, someone that's their age and they are not. So I think we all appreciate that. Every time I listen to it, I just, the social media things that the kids have, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, it changes so fast that you can think what your kids are on and what's available, and the next thing you know, you find out of this new one that's hidden behind another one, and they can get to it, and literally, if you don't know about it, you can't find it as a parent. So we think it's going to be real important for us to, not that we all have kids that are like that, but they don't have their moms and dads to know every little thing, so they find ways to talk to their friends and do things without being seen. Because it's not just showing up as an app on their phone. It's hidden behind another app.
It's these days.
I really feel for the folks. I'm telling you, the mental health of our youth, it's scary because, the whole pandemic, what that's done, and just in general for depression and anxiety for the kids and where they go to for comfort. A lot of times it's.
Anyone have any questions at all? Andrea?
Oh, yes, I would love that. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Garza should be here momentarily. I know something I wanted to bring up. I think of it after we had done talking to people. Like 5 or 6 years ago, I had the different department heads when they did after they presented their agenda, they would talk about like one program that they do. It was particularly helpful with social services because they have so many programs, but also like Andrea would talk about what the early intervention program does. Just give a little spiel on that and then answering the question. I don't know if people would find that helpful again. All right. So we'll put that on their plate. I know everybody's been really good at providing statistics. So maybe starting next month, if you could provide an update on one of your programs. Like what Adult Protective does for social services.
In addition to what I already gave you?
Yeah, just so. Not so much like we have so many people in the program or whatever, but this is what, how many workers we have. And what they do, what they do for.
Okay.
Like,
Basically an explanation of the program.
right, for those of us who don't know, never know, knew, forgotten.
Just pick out one topic if you do. Keep it short.
All right. Okay, Mrs. Barber, we are. I'm talking about everything else.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. Trust me.
We know how it is.
Right? I'm not laughing at you.
course, by the time next month rolls around, what you just do is regular annual report and read one paragraph each month, right?
Think about it while they're speaking, and then you forget about it when they quit.
All right, social services, number one, a position bill.
Yes, this is for support collection. The senior account clerk was working at the hospital. She was with us about a year and decided that she wanted to go back to the hospital. So this position is in the support collection unit, and we collect money from people that are divorced or separated, have children in common. So this person would be helping with that collection. Obviously, there are records to keep. She acts as a supervisor sometimes when the other people are out of the office. We have like a checks and balance system, so that if the person underneath her is doing work, this person then checks that person's work so that there is no discrepancies. So we only have 5 people in this unit, and just having one less makes it difficult to do the job.
Do you anticipate this will be filled internally? Someone,
I was just talking to, it was the accounting supervisor, because she also has an account clerk position open. There was a test given this past Saturday, and 4 people took a test. So it will be filled from that list. There are 2 people on the list that are already working at DSS.
can I get a motion, Supervisor Roach? Any questions for the commissioner on this? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. And then you have a social services principal program specialist.
Right, so Cindy Heinz was promoted last August or September to this position. She came from the Medicaid unit. She found that it was not to her liking and wanted to go back to her original position in Medicaid. And this is the highest level in the temporary assistance unit, so they are without a supervisor. They're kind of, they need a supervisor. There's a second in command, but she's also new. She was promoted probably 2 months ago, so she's still learning. The TA unit really needs someone to direct and be a supervisor. There is no list for this.
Okay.
It'll probably be filled by somebody from within, because they have to have the experience.
Can I get a motion for the position fill on this? Supervisor Roberts. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. And position create fill. Create one position of social services program specialist training.
Yes, this is in the Medicaid. Well, I have to backtrack, because Cindy went back to the Medicaid unit. We were down by 1 person in the Medicaid unit, because somebody was, well, Amy left and went to another agency. So we said, okay, we'll see if we can get by without that 1 person. But then we had another Medicaid worker who'd been out on medical since last July. She decided to retire. So then we're down 2 Medicaid workers, and we said, well, we can't go without 2. So now we're filling Amy's.
Any questions on this? I get a motion to approve. Supervisor Granger. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And then you have several FYIs. Contract with Iron Mountain and also Spectrum Services.
Yes, Iron Mountain is going to incinerate some microfiche for us. We had an audit a year ago of the support collection unit. And, excuse me. And the audit was done by the federal government. And they said we had to destroy this fiche. And at first they said it could be taken to somebody's home and burned in their burn pile. But then they changed their mind. And now it has to be incinerated by Iron Mountain.
Professional.
Yeah.
License. Sure. And then the Spectrum, it's care coordination.
There's no money involved with this. In fact, it's something that we've never seen before. We looked into it and they said, well, we just need something in writing that you're referring people to us to help with the care coordination of, say, they have a drug and alcohol problem as well as their mental health. And we said, okay, there's no money involved. Sure, I signed it.
All right, any questions on those? Okay, number 5, amending an interdepartmental contract with the county health department.
Yes, this is for personal care. The health department goes out with a nurse and does assessments of people before they receive the services. They have to determine, is there really a need for the services? So we had chosen a number and then we got new clients. I think we had an influx of 8 or 9 new clients. So we had to just up the amount.
An motion on this? Supervisor Davis. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. And professional services contract. Timothy Hill Children's Ranch and I need Matt.
Yes, the first one is a new provider. We have a young man, an autistic young man, that we struggled with finding placement for, and Timothy Hill agreed to take him. So there he is. He's on Long Island. He's quite a ways away, but his parental rights have been terminated, so he has no link to this county. So we had to put him where he could get the services he needed. And you see this just goes through the end of June because new ones start as of July 1st.
Well, and I commend everybody involved in finding a place for this young person.
I would like to do that too, because I know that that was very difficult.
Yes. My staff went above and beyond.
They absolutely did, and everything went well.
And your staff put in a lot of extra hours, a lot of overtime,
Yes.
and a lot of efforts to, and it's not even just, trying to find a placement, but where this person was not appropriate, and it's not good for their mental health, and just needed to have someplace to go. I know the mental health department worked with you and the state EDSO and mental health, as well as Senator Galvin's office.
Yes, thank you for your help with that, both of you.
Everybody made a real concerted push. It's good to see that. And then hopefully someplace even.
Better, yes, because this, we know this is not permanent for him. We're still looking for OPWDD placement so that he gets the necessary services for his autism.
And then the second contract for child daycare services.
Yes, we've had her before, it's just a renewal.
Can I get a motion on those two contracts? Supervisor vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. And appropriation for the Youth Bureau Safe Harbor.
And we brought this to you before, but apparently we didn't do the money part. That's the way it was explained to me. I'm not really sure, I know that we had this on the agenda a couple months ago. So I asked my secretary why it's on there again, and she said, something to do with accounting.
Well, it looks like there wasn't, it just wasn't appropriate.
Appropriated.
Well, it looks like to me, so.
Yeah.
All right, can I get a motion to approve this? Get these funds out there. Supervisor Granger? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And monthly report of your activities.
So these stats are from January. So if you look down at, I always compare the months before, there's no big changes other than even looking at, because HEAP has been open for quite some time. HEAP is actually dropping off now because the ending is, might be the middle of April, the end of April. So those numbers are starting to stabilize. So there's no big changes on that one. And as I look at the applications on the next page, the WST 003, the number of applications went up. We are seeing more homeless come in now. And sadly, no place to put them. I mean, we do have a few hotels, but they won't always take them, or they burn the bridges. I know that Friday we had 4 people come in and apply because they said they were homeless, but they quit their jobs and they traveled to Florida thinking they could stay with somebody's relative. And when they got there, the relative said, I can't afford to take care of you, so they turned around and came back. And then they wanted us to hook them up. But when you quit a job, you can't really, we might put you up for the one night, but then you gotta go look for a job. So, I mean, every situation is different. Yes, there are people that need the help, but we are seeing more homeless come in.
A lot of jobs out there.
Yeah.
Get the penny saver, read the penny saver.
We talked about it this morning. It's all, it's in the penny.
It's all in the
Job,
They've taken a penny saver, I think, and taken it from the end of the penny saver and put it in the middle of the penny saver.
Or at the beginning. And then the next one is the child protective reports. No big, well, it's 10 more than it was the month before. But our phrase is, it is what it is. I mean, you can't, there's no rhyme or reason to CPS reports. They come in, they go out. And then as far as foster care, numbers are staying pretty much around the 17, 18, 19.
These child protective reports, they're just reports that came in, or they found it?
Just ones that came in.
But we don't know how many are actually found something actually wrong.
No. I mean, if you want those, they're not gonna be accurate because we have 60 days to what we call to make a determination. So we wouldn't know until April if a report that came in now was going to be indicated or unfounded.
Do you keep track of that? Or?
Oh, yes. And I could give you an example next time if you want that.
I was just curious if that was the real number or like a raw number.
The good thing is more are unfounded than indicated. I don't know the percentage, but I do know the number of unfounded is higher than indicated.
That's good.
Yes, because people call in reports for various reasons.
Right.
Sadly, some of it is just retaliation. But that wastes everybody's time.
Mhm.
And we still have to investigate. Do we find out information that's wrong? I mean, things that are wrong when we do get one of those? Yes. We may get a retaliation report and find out that something different is going on than what the report said. And then we have to take care of that. But that's fine. It's all about keeping the children safe.
Any other questions?
The first comparison, the WFT 002, it's 2022 and 2020.
I just forgot to change the number.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, because I just cut and paste the year before onto that bottom, and I just forgot to change the year.
All right, thanks.
Apologize for that.
No, just, I understand, just so.
Yes. Sometimes I get my secretary to do it, but I thought I could cut and paste.
We've all done it, right?
Yeah, or forget to attach something.
I decided that.
Yes.
You send it.
Again, and this is something else.
Yeah.
Five emails later.
Any questions for me? Thank you.
Okay, nothing under community action this month. And we've got a meeting this week. Maybe ask Rosemary to just come down. She'll probably have an email report, just give us a quarterly report. What's going on? It's been a while since she's been here. I don't think it's not for the annual report. We probably should have it to give her. Every month. So maybe we can go over there and say, okay. Anything else for Human Services Committee? We are adjourned.
Right.
That's what we say.